23. The bright eyes windows to beauty. Of the six senses, vision, hearing, smell, taste, touch, and spiritual sense felt by the six sense organs eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, and mind, vision accounts for more than 80% of our understanding of the material world. Although more than 80% of the knowledge of the non-material world comes from spiritual sense, vision is the foundation for spiritual sense, thus eyes are called the windows of the soul. Vision relies mainly on eyes. Although purely a material physiological structure, eyes can project the forms and movements of the boundless universe onto our brains, which enables us to survive effectively in the complicated nature. Without eyes, a person cannot live effectively, and without eyes, humankind cannot survive effectively. So, how did eyes come about? Is it possible that the miraculous and intricate eyes have evolved from a single-celled organism and developed into the fully functional and perceptive eyes of humankind? Human eyes have two functions, one is the function of vision, and the other is the function of aesthetics. The formation of vision involves an entire system of highly efficient image analysis structures. Strictly speaking, the objects we see are not the same objects because a period of time has passed in the process from the perception of an object to the imaging of the object on the retina to the conceptualization of the object after being reflected to the brain by the nervous system. Although it lasts only several 10,000ths of a microsecond, theoretically, the image in the brain is already not the image of the real object. For example, a flower we see may have withered after some time, but the flower in the brain is still the one originally reflected. For another example, when a relative of ours has passed away and is no longer alive, our brains still retain the lovely voice and happy countenance of the deceased. How does vision happen? Vision is a reaction to the stimulation of light energy of the eyes. An object will reflect the light from the sun or other light source. Via pupils and lens, the reflected light will fall on the retina for imaging to take place. Then, stimulated by light energy, the nerve cells on the retina will convert the light signal into a bioelectrical signal, which will deliver the vision information to the nerve center via optic nerves and finally to the brain. The brain's mechanism for analysis, judgment, and identification will form the concepts of the object's size, shape, and color and then pass on these concepts to the related parts of the body, ordering them to maintain high vigilance and be ready to respond to emergencies. For the smooth running of such a complicated program, a man of supreme wisdom is needed to conduct the perfect design of the eyes, just like the design of cameras by scientists. We can know that the eyes are designed by the greatest creator through the following passages. 1. What is visible to the eyes is only the visible light with wavelengths ranging between 400 and 760 nanometers. Beyond this visual range, the world is completely different. The blue sky is no longer blue. Our eyes would be overwhelmed by the variegated and weirdly colorful scenes created by cosmic rays such as infrared, ultraviolet, gamma rays, beta rays, X-rays, electromagnetic waves, and particle flux. In less than 10 minutes, our nervous system would become chaotic, and we would go insane. Moreover, we might occasionally perceive spirits, immortals, goblins, devils, monsters, paradise, and hell, or even the thought waves in other people's minds. Then we would not be able to behave like rational beings and enjoy the beauty of life in a muddle-headed and unrestrained manner. 2. Enable the eyes to distinguish between different colors. Within the cone-shaped photosensitive cells of the human eye's retina, there are 3 different photopigments that can absorb blue light with a wavelength of 445 nanometers, green light with a wavelength of 535 nanometers, and red light with a wavelength of 570 nanometers. The combination of these 3 lights in varying proportions has created a vast array of colors. Our eyes have the ability to distinguish these subtle color differences. If not, we would all be color blind, and how could we fully enjoy the infinite beauty of nature? 3. Give the eyes a broad field of vision. Our eyeballs are only 24 millimeters from front to back, 23 millimeters from top to bottom, and 23.5 millimeters horizontally. The pupil of the eye is only 2.5 to 4 millimeters in diameter, but with the ability to scan widely, we can see views within a range of dozens of kilometers. If our eyes do not have this function, and we could only see an area the size of our eyes, our field of vision would be extremely limited, like looking through a bamboo tube at something a few meters away. Our field of vision would be very narrow, and we wouldn't be able to see a wolf approaching or a snake crawling up to our feet. This would be very troublesome, wouldn't it? 4. Provide the eyes with stereoscopic vision. People often say, we can see clearly at a glance, but can one see clearly with only one eye? Try closing one eye and see if you can thread a needle or pour strong sulfuric acid accurately into a small test tube in a chemistry lab. Therefore, having two eyes is important. 5. Enable the eyes to blink. The eyes blink every 2 to 8 seconds. Why do we blink? If our eyes remain open all the time, they will become dry, astringent, and may attract dust and bacteria. If this continues for an extended period, we may lose our eyesight. By blinking, tears are evenly distributed in the eyes to moisten the cornea and conjunctiva, preventing dryness and astringency, maintaining the luster of the cornea, and cleaning the conjunctival sac of dust and bacteria. See how considerate the greatest creator is. 6. Provide the eyes with a mechanism for self-protection. The eye is a complex, sensitive, and delicate organ that cannot be protected by relying on human self-awareness. Therefore, the greatest creator has designed eyebrows, eyelashes, eyelids, and tears for protection. Eyebrows, growing on the protruding supraorbital ridges, ward off dust and sweat from above like an umbrella, preventing them from entering the eyes. Eyelashes resemble bamboo curtains or 2 platoons of embattled sentinels, always ready to keep away and block the unannounced invasion of enemies like dust and microorganisms. Eyelids act as loyal soldiers guarding the frontier line of the eyes. Whenever foreign matter or strong light attacks, the eyelids close up immediately and protect the eyes within them from harm. This prevents foreign matter from damaging the eyeballs and strong light from hurting the optic nerves. In case foreign matter or bacteria invades the eyes, tears from the lacrimal gland flush away the foreign matter. Lysozyme and immunoglobulin in tears inhibit bacterial growth and kill bacteria by decomposing the sucrose mortierolate in the cell wall. This protection mechanism is perfect. Is it a result of evolution? Our eyes have possessed these functions since humans appeared on Earth. They have not evolved or regressed, nor have they gone through gradual perfection and evolution. In addition to their visual function, eyes also serve an aesthetic purpose. Expressions such as bright eyes, speaking eyes, amorous eyes, flirting eyes, and so on, provide us with aesthetic enjoyment. I have brainstormed hundreds of schemes to adjust the size and position of the eyes to find a better design. For example, placing the eyes at the top of the head, at the back of the head, or on the buttocks, palms, or beneath the mouth. I also considered exchanging the positions of the eyes and ears or replacing human eyes with those of horses, rats, or frogs. However, only the current size and position of the eyes are just right, and any changes will lead to ugliness. Try it and see. Through our eyes, we can see the greatest creator and witness the exquisite and profound wisdom of the greatest creator. Beauty is the masterpiece of the greatest creator, and the existence of beauty is the best evidence of the existence of the greatest creator.